You have been told the great fight is left against right, communism against capitalism. It was never that. For 250 years, there have been only two blueprints for how a nation builds its wealth. One says power comes from what you make. The other says power comes from who you can put in debt. Everything you are watching collapse is that fight reaching its decision. In 1791, Alexander Hamilton handed Congress a document called the Report on Manufactures. Its idea was simple and dangerous. A nation should issue its own credit to build its own industry. A national bank, not to enrich lenders, but to fund factories, roads, and harbors. Henry Clay named it the American system. A German economist, Friedrich List, carried it to Europe and built the engine of German industry with it. Abraham Lincoln ran on it, issued his own currency, the greenback, and laid the railroad across a continent during a civil war. The rule of this blueprint never changes. Banking is the servant, production is the master, power flows from what you can make. There is an older blueprint. Adam Smith called it free trade, but Britain only preached free trade after it had built its industry behind the highest walls in the world. Then it told everyone else to take theirs down. This is the system of the City of London. Of the Bank of England, which we met 2 episodes ago, lending governments money it did not have and recording the public as debtors forever. Its weapon is not the factory. It is the ledger, the loan, and the terms of trade. Under this blueprint, a country can be rich in everything and still be a servant because it does not control its own credit. Banking is the master. Power flows from who you can put in debt. The American Revolution was, in part, a revolt over money, over whether the colonies could issue their own currency or had to borrow Britain's. The 2 blueprints have been at war ever since. List against Smith, production against finance, the factory against the ledger. It is the war underneath every war, and it does not line up the way the flags tell you it does. That is the part that breaks people's maps, and it is the next episode. You do not have to take this on faith. The 2 systems are splitting in front of you, right now, in the plumbing of money itself. On one side, Project Agorá. 8 central banks, the New York Federal Reserve, the Bank of England, and the European, Japanese, Swiss, Korean, Mexican, and Canadian central banks, building a single tokenized platform for the dollar and its allies. By design, a Western alliance. On the other side, Project mBridge. China, Hong Kong, Thailand, the United Arab Emirates, Saudi Arabia. A separate system where China's digital yuan already moves more than 90% of the value. In 2025, the Bank for International Settlements stepped back from it, and the bloc kept building without them. 2 ledgers, 2 blueprints, no longer connecting. This is not history. This is this year. The Cage, we spent 4 episodes describing the programmable ledger, money that permits and denies. That is not a new system. That is the British system reaching its final, total form. So the only question that matters now is the one this season was built to ask. Does the other blueprint rise again, or does the ledger become eternal? 2 systems, 1 reset, and the nations do not stand where their flags say they stand. Next, the heresy, the country that lost its own system and the one that stole it.